up the price on them, like, as I got better at them. So I was, like, making stuff, and I'm like, I can't sell this for $20. Like, I spent so much more time on it. And went from 30 and then 30 to, like, 40. And I was just, like, matching prices on stuff I'd see that was similar to my artwork that was kind of out there and
or already like exposed and getting the money.
Yeah, stuff similar, like similar pleated designs and like stuff like that. Now I've gone into like a lot of this like weird wigwaggy kind of it's like different kind of like dye placement and stuff like that. But it's stuff that, and then doing like double dyes where you dye one part of the shirt and then you dye like leave the other part blank and then you dye the other part. That's kind of a big thing that's been popping up, and I'm trying to do it. Yeah,
I find that like so dope. It's just like you look at like skateboarding, like that in its own is like its own art, or like glass blowing, and then how like these glass blowers like blow glass and like create all these crazy things, and then like tie dyeing, you're like talking about like how you do it in one way instead of like doing it this way, and like it's just these little things that, and like each artist has its own way and own originality, and it's just pretty dope.
That's kind of like, I guess that's the point. I mean, every artist kind of like takes influence off of other artists, whether it be like, I guess that's been going on since the beginning of time. I guess I shouldn't really say that, but like,
no, it has. Like everyone has had their influence. So
yeah. Well, no, you have to old they've got like jazz influences and like old like 20s and 30s blues influence, or stuff like that from the generation before, and then they've taken that and kind of molded it into their own thing, even if it does have some like similarities or something like that. You still have an authentic, like that's a word that really resonates with me. It's like, being like authentic
to yourself.
Yeah, it's like you could do someone else's thing, but if you got to put like your own take on it at the same time.
Yeah, you can't just like see someone else and like just do that, and like, because then that's not you.
No, exactly. So, I mean, I use ties from like I figured out stuff that other artists have done, and I've kind of switched it up a little bit, or maybe I've done like a few that are pretty similar, and like someone does that with my design, it's like, cool, like you figured it out. Like, I'm not gonna jump down your throat. Like, some of these new guys in the scene are a little bit cocky, and it's like, dude,
that's just like, I feel like that's everyone. Everyone are like the new age like kids, so to speak. You know, like they just have this cockiness demeanor for no reason. It's cool though.
And some people don't like understand like that they're like that people see like right through it. It's like, you're doing, like, I'm not dumb, like, cool, like you took an influence off me with like color schemes and stuff like that. But it's like, I don't know. I saw one dude like yelling at another artist because he like kind of like was doing this like honeycomb kind of like pleated pattern, and I'm like, dude, like everybody in the tie-dye group is doing it. Like, what are you arguing about? Like, and that's where that hipster BS comes in. I'm like, all right, cool, dude. Like,
dude, so was there ever a moment where you like almost walked away from Mint Condition and was like, last second you're like, no, I'm gonna just stick through this, and you stuck with it and it paid off?
Yeah, no, recently actually, and then I just like, I didn't take a job because I could have done this like part-time job through a temp agency, but it's like, I'm not like, why should I do this? Like, because the business picked up for me quite a bit during this whole like virus outbreak, and no one's got money. Everyone's got money to spend. Like, I'm not collecting unemployment. I didn't even really apply for it, even though I was working during the whole thing, and then got like kind of abandoned by my temp company. Netbox every day off for sure, as long as I was like pulling them out. And I I've always like had it like where I was just kind of doing it like part time, and now I've like actually seen a way like where I could keep this hype going and like get to the point where I could just like post like 10 shirts each week for some of these higher tier shirts. Like they take me a minute to do and stuff. But
have you thought about going on like TikTok? Like TikTok's really been taking off.
I know TikTok, but I'm not trying to. What am I going to do? Put out all the stuff, like give out all of my secrets?
No, you don't do that. You just do a second of what you're doing, and then cut out, and then an end product, and then someone wearing it.
Yeah, I mean, I've done time lapses and stuff, and it's so funny. I did this one time lapse. And there was another art like on this like these side by side shirts that I do, and it's some other artist like just put out a tutorial on YouTube. Like I know where that came from because I did like a time lapse of the shirts being built up, like from being like just flat shirts next to each other to being tied up like one little step at a time. So like them being tied up and then tied up, and then like I did like a whole thing, and it was like I'm the marketing camp kind of thing, and that worked pretty well. But in return, I did have like someone make a tutorial that was like I'm pretty sure the influence came from me because like I was one of the first people to do that, at least from what I've seen.
So no,
in that same matter.
From like starting where you were to like having like world-renowned DJs like grab your tie-dyes and then even wear them on stage, like what was that like feeling for you?
Well, that was pretty cool. That's happened like 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times for a business though, I think is enough for it to take off.
Yeah, it was so long ago though now, like I had that fire and then I like lost it.
So yeah, that thing you gotta just relight that fire and keep it lit.
It was kind of like luck, but now I'm like, that community. I love electronic music, but at the same time, they don't want to support me and like give me the money. It's always a fucking haggle. Like they're always asking. Like,
now what you got to do is, on a business standpoint, like show your exposure and your like how much you can grow, and like if you find the right investors, it's just moments.
I mean, that's the thing is like I've had one kid that was my old neighbor tell me that I need to send 5 of my best designs to China, and I was like, and he's like sitting there, and this kid's tried to trade me like these ashtrays that were like, he said that they get him from like some dealer in China, and like because he works for Kohler, he's an industrial designer, and like telling me all this stuff I should do with my business, and honestly I almost punched him in the mouth.
It sounds like a fucking like,
yeah, like
just like where'd you come from, and now you're just gonna tell me everything about what to do.
Yeah,
like,
no, like I went to Columbia College, like that's another thing. Like I get,
dude,
like,
anyone who I know who went to Columbia College is like entitled, like no.
It's the entitled millennial. I can go on about that kind of.
You know,
yes, but
I went to Columbia College.
No, dude, I spent fucking way too much money on my education. I know there's some people that have done good there from there. Like,
yeah.
One of my exes she's actually working for, some big booking agency for like, they work with Slander and like a bunch of big names, Marshmello and stuff like that.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
Well, dude, what do you think about like how we're coming up as a society and like everything is like kind of like going VR? I feel like we're gonna eventually go into like this because like in Japan they have like these laser tag places, but it's VR, and you put it on and it's like completely real. And like I don't know if you ever played PlayStation VR, like that shit's fucking like almost pretty real. I feel like they're gonna get it. Like they have this TV show, okay, on Amazon Prime. If you have Prime, check it out after this. It's called Plugged In. So the show has the ability, like before you die, you can have the choice of loading your conscious into a hard drive, and then
I've seen that.
and then there are these people who have VR that are angels, like helping you out, but like everything you want has to be charged on a credit card and stuff. It's crazy, and like I feel like that couldn't.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't.
I feel like that can't happen where you can like load your conscious, but like I feel like they'll have VR so real that everyone will just be so plugged into VR and like living this amazing life virtually that they won't even care about like what's going on real in reality.
Yeah, I mean it kind of is like that with like social media and stuff like that. It's I don't know. Virtual reality's cool, AI is cool. There's a point where it's like a little bit questionable.
Yeah. Hey, could you see if you could fix your end a little bit? It kind of got choppy.
Yeah.
Alright. But yeah, no, what were you saying, like AI and stuff?
Got a lot of good uses to it, but I think that we need to cut it off at a point. Science fiction is becoming not science fiction, it's becoming like reality.
I mean, dude, it's kind of crazy. Like, they got these crazy drones now, you know, that people are, like, using like, game controllers to, like, fly in, like, other countries and just do whatever. The other day I saw there's this military jet that can, like, go around the whole world in 8 hours.
Damn. That's kind of crazy.
Right? Like, think about how fast that is.
Yeah.
I think we did the math. I think it was like Mach 3. Like, the speed of light times 3.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't surprise me if all those UFOs and sightings and stuff like that are actually like some crazy military drones.
No, dude, I remember in like 2010, like watching YouTube videos of like people coming out of Area 51 and they were like, yes, we do confirm aliens.
I mean, I don't doubt it one bit. Might be a mixture of both.
I mean, who knows? Like, you always have everyone and each group have their own, like, forte or, like, their own tales about it. But I think there is something.
Well, there definitely is something. I'm a big believer in aliens and, like, weird stuff like that, I guess. We're not going to really go into it.
Yeah, we don't need to go into all that, but, like, with your business and stuff, like, what I thought was really cool is, like, how you can just gain, like, exposure from, like, areas you'd never been, because, like, how the community is, like, with a festival. Like, remember, I met you for the second time, and what was it? Was it Big Dub Festival out in, like, Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we just met randomly, and then literally everyone in the group had your tie-dye on. And it's like people are walking around this festival, they look at this group, they're like, yo, where'd you get your shirts from? And then, boom, exposure, and that was a new customer for you.
I mean, yeah, a little bit. There's people, that's cool.
Wait, hold up.
And then they see the price on it, and they give me like, these are like the dumb kids that are like, they're going to buy like any party favor for any price. Like, spend like $300 on party favors.
They don't want to spend money on art because they're just young and dumb. That's all.
No, and they don't like, a lot of those kids are like big into like making pins and like stuff where you just put on